This is Hyperstack. If you think StackTech or Modbox or Packout is too expensive, then I recommend more affordable options like Husky BuildOut or Rigid Pro Gear. But what if you're on an even tighter budget? HyperTough Hyperstack is now the cheapest modular toolbox system on the market. I bought all of these items and more for just a few $100s. These main boxes are even lower priced than HeartStack, which I reviewed last year. This system is just a couple months old, but it's having a strong launch with boxes, 2 work carts, and a plethora of accessories with more items on the way. Is this new system worth it or just a waste of your money? Today I'll be going over some overall pros and cons and the specs and features of this new system. Right off the bat, let's make it clear what this system is not for. Replacing these boxes. If you're used to using or even abusing these systems, then you know that the higher price tags give you more storage space, better durability, unique features, and often a larger ecosystem. So why is it even worth talking about such a cheap system? Well, I think there is a place in the market for affordable but decent toolboxes. Whether you're a new tradesman with a tight budget, someone looking for a compact system for easy transport, or if you want to gift it to a young maker, this system might be the best choice. When this stack arrived, I had 2 first impressions. 1, dang, these boxes are small and don't feel very durable. People who are used to using the more premium systems are not going to be impressed. And 2, wow, these smaller systems that are cheaper would be perfect for young makers, DIYers, and different crafters. I got this orange toolbox about 15 years ago. As an 8-year-old, it worked great with my starter toolkit, but I quickly grew out of it. Then I got this toolbox. It's bigger, but in high school I needed even more space. As you can see, these 2 toolboxes do not connect. So I transitioned to Packout, a modular toolbox system. That brings us to the first 2 pros: price and the variety of this system. This toolbox is only $24.97, so it's easy to start here, or you can get this 3-piece kit for only $69. Then as your toolkit grows or your needs change, you can have a customized organization setup with this affordable modular system.
The small toolbox is only $19.97. The small organizer is $19.97. The medium toolbox is $24.97. There's a crate for $24.97. The rolling box is $49.94. 4-wheel dolly for $24.97. A folding cart for $49.98. And a larger cart for only $89.
Another way to think about Hyperstack is as a test run to see if you like this style of interconnecting toolbox. If you do and want to transition to a more premium system, you can invest in that with more confidence.
These items are sold at Walmart. There's over 4,600 locations in the US. So I doubt every store will carry this item, but since Walmart covers the entire country, you should be able to get them very easily once they are better stocked. These boxes are a good start for the system, but they're missing one important category: soft storage. HeartStack had a couple of nice bags, and BuildOut recently released a really nice open tote, and they've announced a backpack. Hopefully HyperTough expands into bags soon. Another pro is the accessory options. There's a magnet for $13.96, a 2-pack of red hooks for $5.97, several bins are available, different metal hooks, and a metal reinforced wall accessory plate. You can get a kit with a few of the metal hooks, a bin, and 2 of the metal and plastic wall plates for only $20. That's just hard to beat. There's also Hyperstack sawhorses for $16.88 and a miter saw stand for $69.99. More on the accessories in a bit. Let's go back and take a closer look at the boxes. Upon general inspection, we arrive at the first con: overall build quality. Although these boxes are made out of polypropylene, which is the same material as these other more premium boxes, the wall thicknesses are much thinner, and the geometry and reinforcement of the boxes is simpler, which results in a more flimsy structure. Another obvious cutback is the latches. Honestly, they work fine, and I like the texture they added to the front of it. But compared to the build-out latches, these ones are made from a lower quality material, they're thinner overall, and they don't snap as securely. However, we shouldn't be surprised by lower durability at this low price point. Something I see as a pro and a con is the size and weight. Some people might be looking for a really compact, lightweight setup. This would work well for you, but the smaller volume of the boxes will make it harder to transport larger items. I don't have the small toolbox, but I think it's the exact same as this organizer box, just without any of the bins and a different lid. The internal dimensions of the organizer are roughly 19 by 10.5 by 3 inches tall. And the included bins are 5 5/8 by 2 5/8 by 3 3/8 with a removable divider in the center. And all of these bins have a receiver so they can be hung on the accessory cleats. This box has a 37.5 pound capacity and weighs just 5 pounds with the bins inside. There's a folding handle in the front, but it's much smaller than my favorite handle from Rigid Pro Gear since it's the longest. But the front folding handle is still nice to have. As you can see, the external dimensions are much smaller than the other most popular brands. The medium toolbox has 2 cleats on each side and 3 cleats on the front. The internal dimensions are roughly 18.5 by 10.5 by 7.5, and this box weighs 4.2 pounds. With some intentional placement, large 7 1/4 circular saws can fit inside, but it's probably a better use case for multiple medium-sized tools. The crate has 2 accessory cleats on each side and 3 cleats on the front and on the back. The crate overall has the weirdest dimensions because of the large indents for the connecting latches. Overall, it's roughly 19.5 at the widest, 13 in the middle, and 10.5 by 8 1/4 inches tall. The crate weighs 3.8 pounds. The 3-drawer box has 2 cleats on each side and 3 on the back. The top drawer is roughly 15 3/4 by 10.5 by 2 inches tall, and the lower 2 drawers are identical. They have obtrusions on each side because that's where the connecting mechanism is on the bottom one, but the overall dimensions are roughly the same at 15 3/4 by 10.5 by 3 inches tall. It was a nice surprise to get dividers for each drawer. Oftentimes with the more expensive brands, each drawer does not get a full set of dividers. Could these dividers be more sturdy? Of course, but I'm impressed that each divider has a good amount of retention from the little tabs at the top of the divider. I recently reviewed the new build-out drawers. They are about twice the price, but much larger and heavier duty. The build-out 3-drawer includes 1 set of dividers, but you can use build-out organizer bins for detailed organization in each drawer. And a big difference is the locking bar. It works great for locking up your build-out drawers, but you can't secure your hyperstack drawers at all. One specific complaint I have about the HyperTough drawers is the ergonomics. The pull latches are more annoying to grab than the spring-loaded latches on build-out. How does the box do in a more practical test? In the top drawer, I took out most of the dividers to store longer items on the right side, but a few pliers are still neatly stored on the left. The middle drawer is taller, so it could just barely store a tape measure, and the connect cases are a nice snug fit between the bump in the drawer and the dividers. And in the bottom drawer, I just put a few more of my favorite connect cases. I'll have a lot of my favorite tools linked below. The drawer slides are not going to be as sturdy as the bigger brands, but with responsible use, I think they will hold up fine. The larger storage capacity from build-out is really evident when all the tools are transferred over. It can hold the longer tools, like lineman's pliers from front to back, rather than side to side in the smaller drawers. They're also tall enough to stack up 2 connect kits in 1 drawer. Surprisingly, super long items like this screwdriver will still have to be stored at an angle in both systems. Here's another example with power tools. The top drawer can comfortably hold bits and my M12 installation driver, but not a larger M12 battery. The lower drawers can store a chunky Ryobi tool, but the larger Ryobi batteries are just a tad too wide. And the drawers are also wide enough for long and slim tools like an oscillating tool and mini recip saw. Compared to the build-out 3-drawer, the bit cases can be stacked on top, the M12 batteries have much more room, and the larger Ryobi batteries fit without any issues. The rolling toolbox has 2 cleats on each side and 3 on the front. It weighs in at 10.4 pounds, and on the inside, the wheel wells take up minimal space compared to other brands. The overall dimensions are about 18.25 by 11 by 11.5. Overall, it's much larger than the medium box, with enough room for a circular saw and other medium-sized tools or batteries and accessories. The wheels are 8 inches in diameter. That's actually an impressive stat for this cheap of a toolbox. Hart's wheels are smaller, and so are the wheels on the popular Bauer system. The wheel-to-wheel dimension is a compact 19 1/4. The larger systems are usually around 22 inches wide. The wheels have an interesting rubber molding around the plastic to provide more traction, but the overall wheel construction and thinner axle probably will not hold up to heavy loads very well. Klein Modbox rollers have large wheels with bearings and a thicker axle with tighter tolerances overall. The lowered handle of this box is about 21.5 inches tall. The handle is 11.5 inches from edge to edge and has a usable grip of 9 inches. The raised handle is only 35 3/4 inches tall, making it one of the shortest handles on the market. The size difference is really clear next to my favorite handle from Klein Modbox. When multiple boxes are stacked up, it will smash into your hands. With the ergonomic Modbox handle, it keeps your hands protected. Both boxes have footsteps to lower the boxes, but obviously it's easier with Modbox. The Hyper Tough handle also has a lot of flex. They say it can hold 250 pounds in the description, but I do not believe it and do not advise going anywhere near that. I'm 6'2" and rolling around Hyperstack is not very ergonomic. Hence why I said earlier this might be a great option for younger makers. The control and ergonomics I get from the Modbox roller makes it a no-brainer for me, but everyone has their own preferences. Another option is to just use the 4-wheel dolly base. It comes with the casters neatly stored in the bottom, and you just pop them into place. Unfortunately, they're only 2.5 inch casters. The rendered pictures online made them look bigger and more high quality, but hey, this dolly is only $25. The size difference is really evident when placed next to Husky Build-Out's new dolly. It's also really affordable at around $40, so is the extra money worth the bigger wheels and strength difference to you? Comment below. Anyways, I loaded up a few boxes with tools on the dolly. The smaller wheelbase had me worried about tipping hazards, and the stack is definitely not the most sturdy. But with a heavy box at the bottom, it performed okay. Compared to Build-Out, there's a big difference. The larger, heavier boxes are going to be a lot more difficult to tip over. My two most used items from the past couple months are actually the two work carts. The folding one is really convenient. You can put a drawer box on top and still access all 3 drawers. But you can only put smaller items like the crate down lower. The top shelf is about 29.5 inches tall, and the height of the individual shelves is just under 11 inches. The handles have some nice texturing and are about 12 inches wide and 32 inches tall. I wish the 3-inch wheels were larger and the small lever lock isn't very heavy duty. A pro and con with this folding cart are the accessory cleats. There's a bunch of them, so that's good, but the dimensions are slightly different than the cleats on the boxes, so the accessories are noticeably looser. The larger cart has a few more features. It's roughly 32.5 inches tall and has 5-inch casters. 2 that swivel and 2 that are rigid, but none of them lock. The lower shelf is just under 10 inches tall, so the 3-drawer doesn't fit, but the crate does. The crate also fits on the upper shelf. The top deck is roughly 22 by 14, and the lower shelf can be placed on top to make a completely flat level work surface. I think that's pretty cool. There are some integrated slots for cutting 2x4s, as well as round stock. There are a few belt clip slots, but they will have to be very wide belt clips to work. The cup holder is on the smaller side at 3.25 inches in diameter. There are some other little trays and pass-through slots for tools or materials. And the XL hook on the front can be used for extension cords or bags. Just like the other cart, the accessory cleats are plentiful, but on the looser side. The handle is only 30-ish inches off the ground, so it's not going to be the most ergonomic if you're tall. For $89, the Hyperstack cart is hard to beat, but if you have the budget and space, then I would recommend the Klein Modbox cart. It has similar features, but it's beefier in every way. And it's a much taller cart, so it provides a more ergonomic work surface, and I can push it more comfortably.
More and more boxes are coming with integrated features, and this system does not disappoint. On all of the boxes and carts are accessory cleats, and the lids of the boxes have a ruler. Did they copy aspects of Modbox, Build Out, Tough Built, and others? Yeah, and that kind of sucks for the original innovators. But theoretically, a cheaper competitor on the market can help consumers, because if more people start buying into this system, these more expensive options may have to lower prices to compete. However, that's an oversimplification. If you want a more in-depth video on the economics of toolboxes, comment below if you'd like to see that. The cleat system Hyperstack accessories use is pretty convenient, but also very familiar.
It's pretty hard to deny the similarities between my handler system accessories and Hyperstacks. But it's not like I have a patent for slotted accessories, so I won't be making too big of a fuss. As I showed earlier, the red bins can be hung directly on the boxes. And there are a number of other accessories. The red hooks are similar to build-outs, but the Husky ones click onto the rail securely and are beefier than the Hyper hook. The red magnet is encased in plastic. That's a much different approach than the rubber-coated Modbox one that clicks securely onto the side rail. Not only does the rubber help hold tools, but the magnets inside are definitely stronger and larger. The lineman's pliers don't stick very well to the Hyper magnet. I also make a lot of magnets for systems, and my rubber-coated one holds larger tools really well. Yet the red magnet actually shines with hardware storage. It's easier to slide the nuts off than the rubber-coated magnets. There are also a few different Hyperstack bins. They are versatile, but they don't have as many uses as dedicated handler accessories, like the tray, plier rack, screwdriver rack, steel bar, parts bin, and more. Comment below if I should make Hyperstack handler system compatible. HyperTough also has a dedicated wall accessory lineup in this ecosystem. I got these metal reinforced plastic panels in the $20 kit, and they are very nice for the price. Except the holes aren't exactly 16 inches on center. It should be fine, but there's a possibility you'll miss the studs, or the screws will crack the edge of the studs. That's why going with plywood is a better bet. The $20 kit comes with 3 metal hooks, and a bin with tension tabs. I also picked up the Velcro holder and power equipment hook. The holes on the metal hooks can also be used for direct mounting. As usual, wall hooks have a million uses. The small black bin has tension tabs, but the additional 2 larger black ones and the red ones from the organizer box do not. Here's a few items compared to accessories on a handler wall mount. My wall mounts have locking tabs to keep the accessories in place, and I currently offer more specific accessories. But that's not stopping me from making Hyperstack better. Here's this Hyperstack single wall mount for hanging just one of their accessories on the wall. And I made this Hyperstack compatible XL cup, perfect for holding your larger cups or mugs on your boxes, carts, or the wall. Other accessories I've made are mounting cleats so you can attach your boxes to almost any flat surface. You could also make your own adapter plates to add this system to another. And if you want a worktop or want to add another brand on top of Hyperstack, I also made mounting feet. Just attach the static inner brackets and then tighten the sliding brackets to your desired tension and bam, Hyperstack worktop or custom adapter plate. I have 2 final cons for this system. First, the connecting mechanism. It works fine, but it uses side latches. I've gone over connecting mechanisms in many other videos, and side latches are the inferior option over front latching systems like Packout, Modbox, Tough Built, and even Heartstack. Many systems use side latches, like DeWalt Tough System, Flex Stack Pack, and K-Stack. But Hyperstack is eerily similar to Husky Build Out. Build Out is my favorite side latching system, but Hyperstack is noticeably less refined. It's lacking details like grippy texturing on the release paddles, and it can only be released by pulling up. Build-Out has a more convenient dual-release mechanism. 2. Ergonomics. Most of these boxes are lacking handles. The large box has small ledges on the side, but nothing like the ergonomic top handles from Modbox or Build-Out. Comment below if I should make a quick attach handle for the lids of the Hyperstack boxes. And the sides of the boxes are also lacking handles. Toughbelt has a lot of side handles on their boxes. I've already added handles to Klein Modbox, but let me know if you have any interest in side handles for Hyperstack.
So, is Hyperstack worth it? At this lower price, I think almost everybody can find a use for it. Will it last on a construction site? Probably not. But I think it has a lot of utility for the price. Comment below what you think about this new system, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Toolbox content. Thanks for watching.